with myself over that fact. But then I thought, you know what, if I think small, I'll get small. But if I think big, I can get big. And you know what? We have it. Even this way, we've gotten bigger. But anyway, so wherever you're at right now, I mean, I say this all the time if you hear me, we are still a baby infant company. You know, those companies that have been here for decades and decades that have millions of consultants, that will be us, you know, a couple decades from now. And you could be here and you could be one of those people standing on stage and say, yeah, I didn't come on early either. I came on later, but look at what I have going for me. So I want to ask you 3 very personal questions, okay? And if they don't sound like personal questions, then I think that would be a real aha awakening moment for you. Why doesn't this sound like a very deep personal question? And you got asked that all day long in one way or another. So here are these questions. One is, why did you join Sensei? So this is something you need to ponder all the time. Why did I become a Sensei consultant? Okay, 2, why did I come here today? Now this one you can all answer. Did you have a goal and you feel like you're walking away with enough stuff for the sacrifice that you chose to be here today?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay, you love this question. What are you craving? No, not chocolate or soda or caffeine or anything like that, or balada, right? No, I mean like when you're in your car by yourself, or you wish you were by yourself, or at night when you're in bed, and everything else is kind of closed down for the day, but what are you craving? What is it that your heart truly is wishing for? Is it, you know, money to not worry? Is it a savings account? Is it a dream house? Is it to be able to tell your kids yes? It's not going to be any problem to buy the sports uniforms and go on those trips? Is it to make a difference and leave your mark on this planet? Is it that you want to be a life coach or a trainer? What is it that you're craving? So these are questions we really want you to put in the crock pot of your mind and simmer for a long time. I love you, Buffy. Okay, so do you remember when you first got that entrepreneurial bug in your life? You know, maybe it was a lemonade stand, something like that. I want to tell you my very first entrepreneurial experience. It was in the 3rd grade, and every Friday they had a candy sale. And I'm a hoarder when it comes to candy. Just come to my house. I have drawers and closets full of boxes of candy. And so I didn't have any money for the candy sale. And I'd watch kids go on Friday, buy their candy, and enjoy it all afternoon. And I thought to myself, okay, I could either cry about this or I could come up with money and I could have my own candy. So I thought, what can I do to get the money to solve this craving? So I'm almost 50, and back when I was in the 3rd grade, there was like me and only one other girl who had her ears pierced. And so you know what I realized? There was a niche in the market, and if I could open an ear piercing business on the playground. So I went home and I assembled my medical kit, and I found, because packaging is everything, right? So I found this beautiful leftover red crushed velvet heart box for Valentine's Day with a big bow on top of it. And so when we take our Sensei product out, don't we try to, you know, put a bow or some candy or a little thank you note in it, right? So I had this beautiful thing, and I had this plan, and I went to school, and I had these really great earrings that my grandmother had, and I'd go up to the girls and I would say, see these earrings? And they would say, yeah, and then I'd say, aren't they beautiful? And they would say yes, and I'd say, wouldn't you like to wear them? And they would say, yes, I am on a roll here, I have 3 of them. And then I would say, for $2, I can make that happen. Now, usually when we get to the money part, that's when, you know, the crowd thins, right? And so I have to say, it took me quite a few days of going and asking these 3 important questions before I had my first client. And I did, I was so excited. But being the smart businesswoman, I would not do the procedure until I had my $2, so we had to wait until she could go home and get it. So she came, and we sat down, you know, at recess time, and I used alcohol, you know, and I got all clean, and I pulled out my big darning needle. Now, have any of you... See, that's what had happened to me. It seemed very duplicatable. And so I tried and tried and tried. that needle through her ear and nothing was happening. So we both sat there and we were discouraged, but where there's a will, there's a way. So I rummaged through my medical kit. I want you to know I found a seam ripper in there. Yes, you know, I'm sure they wouldn't let me on the airplane with that. So who says we don't have angels trying to protect us? Because that lid just was not going to come off, but I'm very stubborn, so I found the teacher on recess duty, and I asked him to take the lid off, and I remember him looking at me and this seam ripper a little warily, and I was thinking, ooh, is this not a good idea? But anyways, he sent me on my way. My client has gone off. She's lost her, you know, she's on the merry-go-round. So I go and jump, because I am stoked. We are so close to making this happen, you know. And so I go over there and I grab her by the ear, and I'm about to make the incision, and someone goes, stop. And they have me by the ear and straight to the principal's office. And they took away my medical kit. Something about lack of education and proper licensing. So what I learned very early on was that even if you know what you want, you know why you want it, you have a great plan, or so you think, not everything goes smoothly. But the other thing that I really, really learned is that education part, that training, is necessary for success. So kudos for being here today and making this happen in the middle of the week. Sugar Ray Leonard, any boxing fans in the house?
Where's his bag again?
We won't tell them.
Which bag?
But he has this great acronym for power, and he says, prepare, overcome, and win every round. Prepare, which is the training. Overcome, the principal's office, and win every round. And what that means to me is that, you know, 4 out of 5 times, they're not going to buy, host, or join. But the 5th time they do, you do that consistently enough, and you have the life you want. Now, just in case you think that I'm a natural-born entrepreneur because I was bold enough to do that in the 3rd grade, I just want you to know that was just a fluke, pretty sure. I think my parents were probably doing drugs, and that was the day after or something.
Which is true,
but,
probably. Poor thing.
Life is hard. If you sign up to come to planet Earth, you're going to have a lot of difficulties. You're going to have a lot of challenges, and it's going to seem like life isn't fair. And it isn't, and it is going to be difficult. In fact, I wrote a book called Victim or Victorious, dealing with the fact that I was kidnapped and abandoned as a child. And so I know really what it feels like to think you have no one that believes in you, no one that will support you, or that you're worth anything, or that there's any hope in life. But you know what else I know? I know that anything is possible. I stand up here is that like really happy. It's hard not to be full of light when you're in Cincy, right? As a superstar director, who was just like you, I got to take an opportunity for $99 and get a kit. And now make as much as doctors do. Have an organization, thanks to over 3,000 in the main stars group and all of their fabulous directors. 3,000 of our 10,000 comes from you all. And I have more family. If I thought I, was missing out on family as a kid, the friends that you make in this place, when you really show up and you trust and you love and you forgive, it's just more than your heart can even imagine. My husband and I got to take our first cruise, and as you heard in some of the classes today, we've just traveled to so many neat places. So how did Cincy come into my life? And it's my daughter Callie, which I know a lot of you know who she is, who now has worked 4 years by my side. And that's a dream come true, to make enough money that you're able to pay your children more than they were at American Express. And she was off to college, and she called one day and she says, Mom, I'm eating top Roman, I'm really poor, but there's these great wax and warmers and they're safe, and I want to give them to everybody on my Christmas list, including Dad and my stepmom, but I don't have any money. Could you buy them for everybody? So after some negotiating, I got in contact with Dorothy Thurman, my fabulous sponsor, and we got those warmers and wax. And one thing that Dorothy did that was super, super smart, and if you're not already doing this, I highly recommend it, is she, with each warmer, I think I got like 8, she put in an an invitation that said, you know, earn free product or earn extra money. So it's just this invitation, kind of like our buy host join, but it's a little bit more personal. And I remember thinking, that will never be me. You could have bet me. You could have paid me $50,000 in that moment to be a consultant, and I would have said absolutely not. So if you have those people who are telling you, oh no, that's not for me, don't listen to them. It's just, you know, something hasn't clicked for them yet. Just keep shining your light, and who knows when they might join your team. So anyways, I was putting these in there thinking that this is not going to happen. But my personal authentic truth, and you know how we feel about authenticity, is that what I have found in my life that has got me through all those difficult times and brought me to all my great blessings is trusting the man upstairs. So my daily intent is, what is my next best step? What would be the best thing I can do today to move my life forward to the most positive way? And I kept feeling like the next best step was to join Sensei. But I was like saying, no, that's not going to work. I did one party in like the last 15 years for my best friend, and we had to do it at her house, so I'm not a party girl. And my husband and I actually had a candle company for several years, and I got really sick from all the scent. So it made 0 sense that I would become a consultant. So finally I kept saying that daily thing, sincerely, authentically, kept getting that impression, and I know a lot of you people have told me, something drew me to Sensei. Something drew me to Sensei. And then once we're here, we know what it is, right? So anyway, so I thought, okay, man upstairs, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to prove to you that I'm a terrible consultant, so this is never going to work. And I'm going to prove to you that nobody really wants Sensei, and no one's going to join it. If they were, they already did, because I'm here in Utah. So I said, I'll give it 30 days, and just to be fair, I will give it the best doggone effort a consultant can ever give, and if it takes 30 days, we'll see that this is not going to work. Well, 2 months later, I was a director, and a year later, I was a superstar director. Because you know what I found? I found people are hungry for what we have. Remember those 3 questions that I asked you? If you think about your whys, we're silly if we think we're the only ones with dreams and desperate needs and wants and cravings and desires. They're out there. In fact, 105,000 people a week start their own business in direct sales or network marketing. A week. So the golden question of the hour is, great, where are they, right? How do I connect with them? 2 things. First of all, we have to make Sensei our lifestyle. Truly make it our culture everywhere that we go. Like, if we truly want to not yo-yo up and down 30 pounds a year like I do twice at least, then I have to learn to make eating right and exercise my lifestyle, not just 3 months on, 6 months off, 3 months on. And so oftentimes we go and we work our business 3 days on, and then we wonder why we don't have this great organization, right? Because we have to make it our lifestyle. If we can learn to focus on the Sensei spirit and the Sensei light that we have and we find at the grocery store, the post office, or the deli, or whatever, and you're going to just say hi and make a genuine compliment to someone. Now, if that person is grouchy about it, they're not ready for our light, that's okay, right? We're going to move on. But when someone responds, looks like they're a flower relationships. So the second thing, besides making new friends everywhere you go, is, and you have your information now to keep track with them, right? You didn't fill out your door prize slip, which you know I'm a big fan of lottery tickets. You've still got it that way. And second of all is to commit to get involved in something in your community, something new. Volunteer, a new class you've been meaning to take. If you've got kids and you think you don't have time, go to a new play group. One of the gals in our group took the challenge, and she found her community Facebook page. And when someone said, she said the other day she's been sharing all the new customers and parties and potential recruits that she's been getting just since she followed this little challenge. Is someone said that they said, oh, is somebody going to be around this neighborhood because I need help moving this dollhouse or something. So she went over there, just the intention to give more than we take. Does that sound familiar? Right? But she was branded, you know, so someone could see what she did without her having to say anything. And just in doing that, the lady said to her, wait a minute, do you sell Sensei? And I gotta love that, you know, wearing our big button. No, I just wear this billboard because they pay me. So if you just do these two simple, uncomplicated things, but make them your life, make your life to be the light that the world is starving and hungry for, you will attract success. And here's the other thing that's going to happen, and this is really key for you to remember, okay, is when you're out there in these groups, you're making a difference, you're in these classes, you're growing yourself, because you and your business and paycheck will only grow as much as you do by getting out of your comfort zone and meeting these new people in these new ways. Is you're going to start to hear people say things like, oh, my husband just lost his job and I just don't know what we're going to do. Ding, 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 you need, right? Or, summer's going to be here before I know it, and I promised my kids this was the year we were going to go to Disneyland, and I don't even know where we're going to get the money. Or, I've really been wanting to start my own business, and I just don't know what to do. Or, dang, I hate my boss, and I can't wait to get out there, and one day I'm going to just take him and tell him to shut up, but I just don't know what to do. So you're going to hear over and over again all these things, and what are we going to be able to do? We have been there. They have confidence and trust. They know there's something special and bright about us. And we're going to be able to say something like this. You know what? I had this same issue, or this was my problem, and you know what I found was the answer for me was starting my own business. So I became a Cincy consultant, and you know our company's always looking for great people like you. Now I don't know if this is for you, but how about I come over, show you how it works, and we'll see what happens. Okay, that's it. That's my big secret. Just go and spread your Cincy light. So I want to end with this little thing I wrote. Mirrors of reflection don't always seem to be the picture of perfection each person hopes to be, yet just beyond the tiny flaw, the unseen smile, the lifeless awe, lies our style, unique, sincere, that hides behind our constant fear. Oh, we've yet to learn, as gradual comes the light of day. We too must learn to make our way, to let our inner light become not only music we can hum. So not so softly, sing your song, when to others you may teach, that to this light they could belong if they'd only yearn to reach.